I met Kei in the 80s, and he at the time was in Hong Kong. When I left the presidency of Alco Controls in Maryland Heights in 1996 to come back into the motor group, Kei replaced me in that role as the president of Alco Controls. So our relationship was one of me helping to mentor him through what was going on at the time, and he was able to carry on the legacy of what we were doing. It was fun to watch him grow from a new president who was green in many ways to become the guy that he is today.
I knew Kei when we both worked at Emerson, but it wasn't until 2010 that I really had the opportunity to work with him closely. I was comfortable with Kei right from the start. He ended up coming in, he's a quick study of the business. He took a really intense notice and focus on the business. And what struck me right from the start is the business was doing quite well, and Kei came in, he kept challenging us to be much more aggressive in growing the business.
It was interesting. Kei was the first person I met from Nidec, but over the years I met more and more people from Nidec. And what I noticed was that everyone that I met kind of talked the same and kind of had the same turn of phrase, and then I realized they all wanted to be like Kei. And they talked like Kei, and they had the same engagement as Kei, and they've improved our programs like Kei has.
Kei's got a personality that just is engaging. People like working around him and working for him. He's a very smart guy, quick study. I would say that, just to give you an idea, the inverse of his ability as a manager and people person would be his golf game. As good as he was as a manager in person, or is, he was that bad as a golfer.
Somehow always finds time to get out in front of the business, pick up on the trends. I don't know, he does it through different means, but he's picking up on the trends. He's identifying new opportunities for the business that aren't necessarily always apparent to the business leaders or sometimes our competitors. The other thing that I really like about him, which I think is really a great attribute, is his ambition and hard working. So Kei's very demanding as a leader. He asks nothing more though than he'd do himself. And I think people are drawn to him because he doesn't just ask for it, he really leads by example.
The learning curve that he went through from being a support person in Asia to coming to the States and actually running his own business was a great opportunity for him, but at the same time it was like drinking through a fire hose.
Kei was on our board for about 8 years. And so each of those 8 years, a student received a scholarship that was part of his contribution for being on the board. I think that executives need to think beyond the four walls of their own organization and the community in which they engage. And Kei does that, not only with our undergraduate and graduate students within management, but within supply chain and the university as a whole. The Kei Pang Endowed Scholarship will go on forever. And also the International Business Advisory Board Scholarship that he helped endow through his generosity, those students will continue forever. So I would guess it's probably been 10 students at a minimum, and it's going to be hundreds in the future.
He truly does build this environment where it's not all about Kei. It's first about the customer. It's about taking care of the customer. He has this as approachability that Kei does one thing better. It's not unusual for him to take mid-level managers and have them into his office, come into his office and spend a few minutes with them to get to know them and to understand how they feel about the business. I think that's why the business continues to do well, and I think that's why people like working here.
Kei, congratulations on being the Asian American Chamber of Commerce Executive of the Year.
Congratulations, Kei, on receiving the Asian American Chamber of Commerce Executive of the Year Award.
We congratulate you on being named the Asian American Chamber of Commerce Executive of the Year.